Time for the Saturday headlines and Elliotte Friedman. And Elliotte, as always, I kind of come to your 32 Thoughts podcast, latest installment with Kyle Bukauskas first. Unbelievable. They're preparing an interview for Moncton and Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. Yeah. Calvin Pickert's from there. So Kyle interviewed Calvin about his first 7 years of life in Moncton and got into the start he had in Tampa at the end of the road trip and how it was make or break.
Yeah.
And he's incredibly honest and vulnerable. And that's the Edmonton goaltending situation. Both men in the crosshairs. Stuart Skinner, obviously, with a huge shutout this afternoon, yes. And the Oilers at 27 points. So I don't know if this is before, but is there still panic in Edmonton about Stuart Skinner?
I still think overall, one game isn't probably going to change a lot of people's opinion, but it toned down the rhetoric, at least for a few hours. The thing about this is that when they got pummeled by Dallas this week, I think a lot of us, myself included, were kind of like, maybe it's just time, Ron. Maybe it's just time they make a change for their own sake, for Skinner's sake, for everybody's sake. They just take a break and they move on. Couple of things. Number one, Skinner is not asked out. That did not happen. I think a couple of people were wondering if that would have happened this week. It did not happen. Number two, he did an autograph signing the other night. I got to tell you, if it was me at this time, I would have been in the witness protection program. So much respect for Skinner that he did it. And number three, the Oilers have made enough calls, and teams call you when you're going through a bad week. And you know the teams out there that kind of have extra goalies or goalies they're willing to move, like Columbus, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. And what I can tell is that Edmonton's position has not changed at all. They are not going to do it just to do it. They are not going to do what they believe is a lateral move. They would rather make no move than what they think would be a bad move or a panic move or a move just to do it. So I guess this is a long way of saying that I don't believe the Oilers' philosophy has changed at all, despite the fact that after that Dallas game this week, a lot of us were wondering if it would.
Vancouver, we're open for business.
Yes.
So what's going on there?
So one of the things I kind of thought was maybe we might see something quick happen with Kiefer Sherwood because he's an unrestricted free agent. He's a really good player. He's a salary everyone can handle, and I thought there would be a lot of interest. And I was kind of told today it doesn't look like it's necessarily going to be fast. There's nothing imminent in Vancouver. Now, Connor Garland is not playing tonight. That's injury related. Before anybody goes to any conclusions, it's not believed to be serious, but he's not playing, not because of a trade, but because of injury concerns. But the thing is, I think there's some teams that are very interested. I think, teams like Minnesota, Boston, potentially Philadelphia, others. But I didn't get the sense, Dave, from calling around that anything was imminent from Vancouver, and they're more than comfortable to take their time, just see what the market is, and wait if they have to. And again, the goal is to get younger. Everybody knows that. They want to get younger, and they're going to wait until they get something they like.
They are kind of young as it is, but Quinn Hughes.
Nothing. I knew you were going to ask me that.
Nothing? Nothing
every week
Hughes?
you
Okay.
always ask me Quinn Hughes, nothing.
Toronto, this is their first 4-goal lead of the season, so now Craig Berube and Brad Treliving are off the hot seat, I guess. But what about that?
Well, the thing is that, we've talked about it. They're really looking. They're trying to do things. They don't want to trade like the Matthews, the Nylander, the Tavares, the Nyes. That's not happening. But they have looked around. The one thing is the Heat really got going this week. I don't believe that there's anything imminent in terms of major organizational changes like coach, GM, anything like that. I don't think they're thinking about it. I don't think it's on the horizon. I don't think it's imminent. I think if anything like that was to happen, it's down the road. So I know, again, people were wondering, could they do that kind of a change? I don't think it's on the horizon at all.
Lastly, Laurent Brossoit.
Yeah, so Laurent Brossoit is coming back. He's going to play next week in the American Hockey League on a conditioning stint. He's a member of the Chicago Blackhawks. He hasn't played in a year and a half. He got hurt in the 2024 playoffs and hasn't played since. But the Blackhawks have given teams permission to talk to him. So you can understand what his situation is, what the exact surgery was, what the process is back. And the Blackhawks don't really have room for him. Now, he's carrying a $3.3 million cap hit, and not everybody can take that. So there might be some work that needs to be done here. But he will be watched very closely, and the Blackhawks have allowed people to talk to him.
Hockey fights cancer, Elliotte. Who you think?
Yeah, so there's a few people I just want to mention. First of all, it was a year ago this week that the Brenzel family, my brother-in-law's brother, Jason, was diagnosed. We lost him in March. Sandy, Sherry, John, Natalie, and Levi, we're all thinking of you. Up on the 8th floor, working tonight in the control room, Garrett Hansford. Garrett, great to see you. You look fantastic. You did want to shout out his doctor, Dr. Sean Cleary. Dr. Cleary got Garrett into treatment quick so that Garrett could properly fight the battle. Dr. Cleary passed passed away last year while running a triathlon, and Garrett wanted to shout out Dr. Cleary and his family. And finally, we all know somebody out there who isn't public. They're battling cancer, but they're not public. They want to keep it private or keep it to a small circle. I know somebody like that. I'm sure you all know somebody like that. You might be in that position. Just want to say we see you and we're with you. Thanks, Ron.
Elliotte Friedman, thank you. Hyundai Canada has a neat program, Elliotte, as part of Hockey Fights Cancer. They've teamed with that foundation along with the NHL and the NHLPA. It's powered by the V Foundation. What they're coming to do is something special for very special people. It's Hyundai's greatest save. In support of the Hyundai Hope on Wheels, they'll raise funds for childhood cancer research and care. For every save made throughout the NHL season, usually about 80,000 to 81,000 shots on goal during a year. For every save through the year, Hyundai will donate $10 to Hockey Fights Cancer and the Hyundai Hope on Wheels. The goal of raising over $700,000. Every save counts, as does every dollar.